Direct from Foxborough, Massachusetts, the gem of Norfolk County, and taped at the studios of Foxborough Cable Access. It's Foxborough Central, and here's your host, Bob Hickey.
And welcome to another fantastic episode of Foxborough Central. I am Bob Hickey, your host, and I want to thank you for taking the time to join me and my guests as we talk about the people, events, and organizations that make Foxborough the gem of Norfolk County. For those of you who've been around and watch Foxborough Central, you know I love music, and I'm always a fan of bringing music to you. This is one of those rare opportunities where I have an opportunity twice in the same word, but it's a real opportunity. It's a rare opportunity. It's a good opportunity to bring folks to you and kind of music that maybe you haven't heard before. I'm talking about the banjo and the tuba together, a fantastic local group called Avalon. Avalon is a regional based out of Foxborough, Seekonk, and they also are something that we here at Foxborough Central are very pleased to host in our studio. And one of the things that we did before the show today was we did some music, did we not?
We did. Played a couple of songs.
We played a couple songs. Of course, I'm talking to Steve Caddick with the Avalon. You are the titular head of this fine organization?
Yes.
And you've been accused of being the talent.
That's what they tell me.
That's what they tell you. So tell us about Avalon.
Well, Avalon is the three of us. It's a group, it's a trio. And we play music originally from mostly the 1920s. But in the last couple of years, we've been trying to diversify and actually incorporate most of the decades of the 20th century. So we're playing music all the way up through the 1980s.
I'm going to jump ahead a little bit because we had an opportunity at the Maryland Robin Performing Arts Center. We had an opportunity for you to come and practice, and it ended up being an impromptu concert, and people started wandering up, and they ordered pizza. It was a great night. But you played quite the diverse playbook, and when I think banjo, I typically don't think of Beatles and music like that. So where did the songbook come from?
Well, it's the Great American Songbook, mostly American composers, although we are diversifying into European and British composers, also the Beatles, Jerry and the Pacemakers, Stevie Wonder, Frank Sinatra, Al Jolson, all kinds of different types of songs, different types of music, played on the four-string banjo. Now, the four-string banjo is a little different than the most popular banjo today. Today, it's the five-string banjo. It's got that extra string sticking out the side here. And they use 3 finger picks. We don't. We use a single pick. It's just like a guitar pick.
Okay.
I prefer nylon. Some prefer plastic. It doesn't really matter. But it's a strumming style as opposed to a picking style.
And we're going to have an opportunity to hear that style.
Yes.
We've got a couple songs that we're going to take some cuts and listen to as we get into it. But before we get there, I'd like to introduce the other members of our band. I'm not going to call you a panel. That would be inappropriate. Bill Cass. Bill, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
I'm glad to hear that. And
Nice
you
to
are
see you
our
today.
local connection. You're the one who brought these fine gentlemen into my world, my sphere. And so how did you get involved with Avalon?
Well, I've been playing tuba for a number of years. I think I picked it up in 1968, and I never put it down. And I played for numerous groups. Right now I'm with the Bridgewater and Tiffin Brass Society,
Yes.
Based out of Bridgewater. And I play with another Dixie band, the Bay State Stompers, and also the Dixie Diehards. And you know, knowing Steve with the banjos, I've gone to these banjo festivals, and I've known Steve for a number of years. And you know, he's been trying different combinations with Avalon, and we decided to try the tuba with the 2 banjos, and we kind of like the sound. It's unique. And I enjoy playing it, and like you said, we have quite a repertoire of songs. And I mean, right now we could probably play for a week and not run out of music. So yeah, so it was kind of a unique thing, and we found a market for it, and we're doing some concerts and gigs and stuff like that.
Outstanding. So you're liking what you're doing and liking what you're hearing. You're going to keep on doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the rhythm section.
You're the rhythm. Fantastic. Well, we're going to get to hear a little bit of Avalon here in a minute. Before we do, I'd like to introduce you to Paul Poirier. Paul, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. And if he's the talent and he's the rhythm section, how do we describe you, sir?
Well, the master and
by the way,
student.
you're the one who accused him of being the talent, so I'm not.
Yeah, no.
I'm not speaking out of turn.
No. And I don't. He's the master, and I'm the student.
Oh.
I started taking lessons in 1991 from Steve, and I continue to take a lesson every week. So I'm always learning something new. So that's why he's the talent, and he's the master, and I'm the student.
I think as we watch your performance that we're going to show here in a second, we're going to find out that there are no students here, that this is a very talented group, and we're going to enjoy a little music right now. What's this first number that we're going to play?
Those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer.
Lazy, hazy, crazy days. Let's take it away. Avalon.
Out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer, those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Dust off the sun and moon and sing a song of cheer. Just fill your baskets full of sandwiches and weenies, then lock the house up. Now you're set. And on the beach you'll see those girls in their bikinis, as cute as ever, but they never get them wet. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer, those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. You'll wish that summer would always be here.
And we're back. That sounded great, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. So, Paul, I will ask you, since we heard that wonderful number, is it difficult to put those scores into a two-piece banjo and tuba combination, or is it just happen?
No, it doesn't just happen. The harmony parts that you'll hear me play in some of those tunes, those are written specifically for me, and they were written specifically for my talent level and my level based on where I am in my own learning curve. So we have a gentleman out in Albany, New York, who's written probably 99% of the harmony parts for us. His name is Ed Kababjian. He's been a great friend for a number of years, and because he's the only player, the only person that writes any of our harmony parts, we have the distinction of calling him the lone arranger.
Aha, the lone arranger. I'm not going to go down that road, but it sounds
you
fantastic.
don't have to.
I had a quick question. So do you also play with the pick style, or what's your...
I play a, same as Steve, I play a tenor banjo. It's a 4-string classic instrument, so this would have been a popularity from the 1920s to the 30s. And it's an interesting little thing about the banjo. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, the 5-string banjo was the king. And then the 4-string banjos came in as part of the jazz era, and you couldn't give away a 5-string banjo. Nobody wanted them. They almost went extinct until that little guy, Earl Scruggs, came along, and with his unique playing style, and he literally brought bluegrass to prominence with the 5-string banjo. And so that the whole cycle of banjos has come full circle right now.
And that would be a style with the picking, and
yes,
similar to what you would, for those of us laymen, the Beverly Hillbillies. That's
yes. Think about the Beverly Hillbillies and bluegrass. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, of course, what we're trying to do is we're always trying to make that circle go around one more time, because we like to see the jazz instruments being played.
Well, this in the song that you just played, it sounded, I won't say orchestral, but it definitely had a nice musical quality that was not bluegrass, at least in my opinion.
Right.
There's a feel to it. Is this a specific style? Yeah.
What would you describe that style?
All-American.
Okay. From the All-American compendium of music, you choose these songs, and
well, it's American music on the banjo, so that's where it comes from.
Okay. Okay. And then with the group Avalon, how long has Avalon itself been around?
About 8 years.
8 years. Okay.
In this iteration.
All right. And then we're based out of Seekonk, based out of Foxborough?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll go with a yes.
We'll go with a yes.
Well,
all of the above.
Okay, and then I also want to mention to everybody that you should become friends with Avalon on Facebook. They actually have a Facebook page. It's called Steve Caddick and Avalon, and you can look them up. If you type in Avalon, Avelon, you're sure to find them. You can also reach out and find out what the current schedule is, get more information. Maybe you're a banjo player extraordinaire and you want to jump in on a session. I understand that, we'll get to a second, but I understand we need some subs every once in a while, because these folks are not only accomplished, but they're very busy, and you would reach out to BanjoPa1, BanjoPa1 @yahoo.com. So, speaking of going around and about the country, you are a member of the Banjo Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And that is located where?
It's in the American Banjo Museum in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And you're going out there at some point soon to do a festival, I understand?
Oh, we just did. We came back about a month ago.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going back out on Thursday to another festival, and there's a board meeting, so I'll attend the board meeting as well.
Because you're on the board of directors
I'm on the board of directors of the American Banjo Museum. Yep.
Awesome, awesome. So last week, let's talk about that real quickly, and then we're going to go to another number.
Sure.
But with that, what was the vibe? How many people? 10 people attended? 20 people? It can't be that many people like banjo. I love banjo, but...
Well, in the United States, there's probably 400, 500, 600 4-string players.
Okay.
And there's probably 3 times that amount of 5-string players, because that's the popular banjo right now. But we're trying to flip that back around again.
This was actually a softball question, Mr. Cass, because I understand it was a very well attended, very dynamic, and super enjoyable weekend. So tell us about the weekend.
The weekend that we went to?
Yes.
That was, well, Paul can probably tell you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we actually did that on Mardi Gras weekend. And so we went out and played the Mardi Gras at the American Banjo Museum. And they have, inside the museum, we did a cocktail hour and open event.
Okay.
So people from all over Oklahoma City, and in fact, we've had a number of people who traveled in from the West Coast into Oklahoma and also from Texas to come and be with us on that particular event. The one that's coming up this weekend is more of a local outreach for the museum, so it's an Oklahoma City outreach project.
Okay.
Smaller thing, but we meet 4 times a year. So a couple of times a year we try to get Steve out there and just to play on our stage, and we will fill the auditorium with as many people as it'll hold. So.
Well, let's take another sampling of something that you might hear if you're going to go to Oklahoma City. And if not, then something we hope to hear around here soon, but something you're going to hear right now. It's going to be what?
Hello, Mary Lou.
Hello, Mary Lou, right here.
I said, hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart, sweet Mary Lou, I'm so in love with you. I knew, Mary Lou, we'd never part, so hello, Mary Lou, goodbye, heart. Said, hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart, sweet Mary Lou, I'm so in love with you. I knew Mary Lou, we'd never part, so hello, Mary Lou, goodbye, heart. Pass me by one sunny day, flash those big brown eyes my way, and oh, I'm loving you forevermore. Now I'm not the one that gets around, swear my foot touched to the ground, and Mel never did meet you before. I said hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart, sweet Mary Lou, I'm so in love with you. I knew Mary Lou, we'd never part, so hello, Mary Lou, goodbye, heart. I saw your lips, I heard your voice. Believe me, I just had no choice. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. I thought about a moonlit night, arms around you good and tight. That's all I had to see for me to stay. I said hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart, sweet Mary Lou, I'm so in love with you. I knew Mary Lou, oh, we'd never part, so hello, Mary Lou, goodbye, heart. I said hello, Mary Lou, goodbye, heart.
That was great.
Thank you.
That was great.
It's fun stuff.
You
Thank
don't
you. It
hear
was
that
fun
on the
stuff.
banjo very often.
Well, no, absolutely
Not
not.
that song.
Not that song, no.
So, Steve, you do this for a living? I mean, is this?
Yes.
Yes.
That actually, there's a three-part thing to me in banjos. My main one is I'm a teacher.
Okay.
I teach online with Skype. People don't have to get in their car and drive to come to see me. I just call them up on Skype at their lesson time, and we do a half-hour lesson. The other thing I do is perform like this with Avalon, and we try to get as many performances as we possibly can. Mm-hmm. And the third thing I do is I repair banjos. And
okay.
sometimes I build banjos. This banjo is one that I helped to build.
I was going to say, that's a beautiful looking instrument.
This is a great banjo. This was made in 1986
Okay.
by a fellow by the name of Paul Simpson, who lived in Attleboro, Mass. It's all chrome plated. It's a 20 fret tenor, which is a little different. Most of them are 19. I helped build it. I hand engraved it. That's one of the talents I have, is I do hand engraving. So I did all the hand engraving. I did all the pearl work, all of this work up in here. And the way Paul used to like to describe it is he would build the cake and Steve would frost it for him.
Well, that is truly a beautiful instrument.
Yes.
I was admiring it as we were talking. I was thinking, how do I work this into the conversation? So, of course, I just out and out ask. So, do you still do that? I mean, that's such
Yes. Oh, yeah.
and that was in Attleboro that was built, so it's local.
Yes. It was built in
Fantastic.
Attleboro.
Not all banjos were built in Attleboro, of course.
No.
This particular banjo that I'm playing today was built in Oklahoma, in Colorado,
Okay.
from the Ohm Banjo Company, and this is circa 2008, so it's not very old. The other banjo I typically play would be a 1924 Vega, and that was built in Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
The Vega Company, since out of business in the 1970s.
But the really interesting part of that is that the craftsmanship is not dead. It's still here.
No, it is definitely not dead.
No, still going. Matter of fact,
Craftsmanship is still going on. In fact, I'm having a new banjo built as we speak, so I'll have that probably in the fall.
Well, hopefully at some point we'll be able to get you back here and show that one off.
Yeah.
I also know that we're looking to, I'll fill out the schedule is the wrong way of saying it, but there's some really great opportunities, and you've been in the Mansfield Holiday Inn, I understand.
Yeah, in 2000, the last one we did I think was 2009, and so we're really not doing that anymore. But in 2007, 2008, 2006, from 2000 to 2008, we were bringing in talent from all over the world, and from Amsterdam, from Germany, from the West Coast, England.
Wow.
And we were filling the ballroom at the Holiday Inn with 1,000 people a night to come and listen to what we were doing.
Well,
So
there's
it was
a really
fabulous
cool
stuff.
theater right up the road. Maybe we should start doing that again.
We hope to be filling that in the near future.
Shameless plug, everybody. Don't worry about it. I don't do that often. Do I, Mr. Cass?
No, not you. I was gonna add that we rehearsed in Steve's shop, and just this week he was down there making bridges when I showed up. So there's always something going on in there with the wood, playing with the wood. You know?
So you, master craftsman, the frosting portion of it, a teacher and a player, and then you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
How does one get to be in the Hall of Fame? It sounds like quite an honor.
Well, some of my students, Paul and a few others, nominated me for inclusion to be considered to be to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
They put together a package of stuff, sent it out to Oklahoma to that current board of directors. They read it all. They liked what they saw. They called me. They interviewed me. They looked at my history of what I've been doing in my banjo life, so to speak, which is fairly long and extensive. I started playing in 1959.
Okay.
My father taught me, who was also a very good banjo player. And around 1973 or so, I started teaching. And I started teaching as a way to make a little extra income.
Nice.
I was an artist at the Balfour Company at the time. That's where I learned how to do hand engraving.
Oh, okay.
And I met Paul Simpson in 1968, and he took me under his wing. He was really a master craftsman. He not only made banjos, he built houses, he built a boat, he did a lot of work on guns, all kinds of things. Just a really master machinist. He worked at the Texas Instrument Company in Attleboro. And he took me under his wing and said to me one day, he said, you know, Steve, you got to learn how to take care of these banjos yourself, because I'm not going to be around forever. And so for 30 years, I apprenticed under Paul on learning how to put new frets in, build a neck, fix whatever issue could possibly go wrong with a banjo. The nice thing about banjos is you can completely disassemble them and reassemble them and fix whatever needs to be fixed.
How interesting.
And I've learned how to do that.
Wow. Fantastic. Yes.
And that's what put him in the Hall of Fame, was a lifelong devotion to the banjo. And that comes through in pretty much everything you see. And so when his name came before the board, it was an easy decision. So, and he is in good company. He's in company with Earl Scruggs and Steve Martin and a number of other very famous people who are.
Roy Clark.
Roy Clark, who was inducted last year, that's right.
He's amazing.
Eddie Peabody, Harry Reeser.
Yep.
The list is, there's probably, what, about 75 of us who are inducted into the Hall of Fame.
And there are 5 people who join you every year. So, and that's it, 5 a year.
Well, it's an exclusive club, and we're going to have another exclusive showing. See the way I did that? Of a song. I'm amazing, aren't I, Bill?
Yeah. Shameless self-promotion.
Paul Porter, Steve Caddick, and Bill Cass with Avalon. We'd like to give you one more song, and this one is going to be?
Fly Me to the Moon.
Right, a Frank Sinatra favorite.
Tell you what, I promise not to sing if we just listen to it. Here we go.
Now fly me to the moon, let me play among those stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
that was fantastic. And we are so much out of time, but I wanted to just touch on a few other things before we hit the road here. Bill, how did you get involved with Avalon?
Well, like I said earlier, knowing Steve and Paul and playing bass in Dixie bands and stuff, we went to these festivals and stuff like that, and Steve was trying a few different things, and we decided to add the tuba to see how that sounded, and we liked the sound.
It's a great sound, clearly.
Yeah, we all enjoy. We're pretty good friends. We all enjoy playing together, and we just keep gigging. And
you're here in Foxborough, and you're playing in 4 of these different groups, and you're still loving it.
I'm this week alone, I think I have 5 gigs. So we won't bring that up. Sometimes it gets to be a sore spot, but that doesn't happen all the time. I'm out at least 4 or 5 times a month.
None of our families are listening.
On average,
it's all good.
And then in the wintertime, we've been since my wife retired, we've been going to Florida, and I found a band down there, so I've been playing down there for the winter. So I was in Fort Myers when they were doing Mardi Gras this year, wherever they were. I was doing Mardi Gras in Florida.
Wow.
So it was fun.
Well, good. I'm glad you're doing something you like.
The horn goes with me wherever I go.
While Billy's in Florida, we've employed his future ex-son-in-law on tuba.
Don't call him an ex. He's a great kid. Yeah, it's amazing. My daughter actually is in Europe right now, touring Europe with the Boston Philharmonic.
I saw that. She's very talented in her own
right. She's a clarinet player, and she met this gentleman in college, and he's got a master's in composition. And he has also got a bachelor's in tuba, so he's like one step above me, I would say, in education, but he's got some experience to do. But he's a great player, and I'm happy to have him around to fill in for me.
Well, congratulations on that.
All these families are all musical. I mean, Steve's father was a fabulous banjo player, Bill and his daughter and everything. In my family, I play the banjo, and everybody else plays the radio.
Hey-oh.
Yeah, there you go. So, what do you make for dinner? Reservations.
I don't know where to go with that. So we're going to be wrapping up here real soon. Paul, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
Is there something you want to share? One last word to show the banjo. I know that the Banjo Museum is a phenomenal place. If I'm ever out in Oklahoma City, where do I go? How do I get in touch with them?
It's easy enough to get a hold of the Banjo Museum. You can go to the AmericanBanjoMuseum.org. And our website's there. Or if you find yourself in Oklahoma City, just go to Bricktown. Everybody knows where it is.
Bricktown.
Bricktown. Go to Bricktown, and you'll be in the heart of the city and at the museum. It is a fabulous place. Of course, I'm in love with it. And there's no better banjo place in the world. And other than that, the banjo is our life, and we just love it.
Fantastic. I'm going to give Steve the last word. Bill, what do you say?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here.
All right.
All right.
Well, Bob, thanks for having us. We very much appreciate the exposure of this style of banjo playing. There are 7 banjo styles, and this is one that's fairly old, and we really appreciate it being promoted. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming out and sharing it. And we'll promote it one last time with Steve Caddick, Bill Cass, and Paul Poirier here with the group Avalon. Avalon is fantastic. If you want to learn more about them, you can check them out on Facebook at Steve Caddick at Avalon. Just type in Avalon, you're sure to find them. Or you can email the titular head of the group, the talent, as they say.
The talent.
As at least 2 of the 3 members are saying. And that would be at banjopa1@yahoo.com. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being out here with us.
Right.
And I cannot think of a better way to spend the last half hour than listen to great banjo and tuba music. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Foxborough. I hope you have a great day. Take care, everybody.